So we are live. I kind of waited on Vincent, but I was hoping somebody else would join. He'll be back in like 5 minutes. But this is basically a story. It kind of broke yesterday. Now it broke 2 days ago. About Paul Scott Canavan. Scottish man, basically. He has been in the magic artist scene for a while. Um, he has actually gotten. See, I didn't know who this was particularly because the details in this I have to give a warning because this is very, very potentially troubling. I call it the joke the tolerant left wants people to. He describes himself and he's using the defense of neurodivergency and a bunch of other stuff. That's what I kind of figured would happen. Um, but you can always tell when a crisis is bad in like Magic and other games when Reddit has locked it down. Basically the Magic Reddit, the 40K Reddit, has done it. He immediately protected all his tweets. Ugh, weird day. He basically, it went straight, and this has been a big thing in like 24 hours. Now, I knew of this person in a way. He was around, and this website that this got posted on or got caught on is borderline editorial. I don't call it 100% accurate, but when they are accurate, it's kind of weird. Now, they're getting a lot of press because they covered Gamergate 2.0, supposedly. Now, I'm sure Vincent would disagree with me on that regard, but I always check my sources. I wait like a day and see what happens. Like, usually if there's meat on a bone. Now, people call him a Warhammer artist. He's not really known for Warhammer. He's known for working on more Magic than he is in D&D. And then side projects. Because we'll probably show his portfolio. His portfolio is actually pretty good. Now, there's other stuff too. Like, I may have to break down into it. Because he has something. It's one of those weird, rare moments that you get. I mean, I've talked about Dane. Dane's about as tolerant, but like him and Morgan hang around him, they're like tolerant leftist apparently as well, but they advocate. But this one really screwed up. And this is not like it's a no-name guy. He has serious contracts. Now, in reality, and before I throw in the joke, when he actually did some paintings a couple of years ago, he tried to say he was colorblind. Can a colorblind person be racist? You can answer that. It's kind of awful. That's a really, really, really bad joke. But he does say he's colorblind. That's why, like, if you look at some of his artwork, it's bleached out. It's definitely a unique story. So, it is something that he's not the first. Now, it is weird. WotC hasn't, because he's got involved. Like, this particular guy, I didn't know the Twitter handle, but he follows Bits. He follows a lot of others. And the story could be questionable. But I think it's weird. Now, I think the guy's a little terminally online, as you will find out. He wants to claim it was misread. Now, so it's weird how presented, right? So it is rather interesting. And I'm not going to attack the guy based on his sexuality. He's probably gay. That's very clear. But the man himself claims to be. He's already using the defense. I figured his top first defense would be, it wasn't meant to be that way and it came out wrong. Here's something people don't understand.
No, he's using the dual meaning defenses. The fries are flipped and things are going well.
Welcome back. No, what do you think? Do you think it's not a... So what do you think of it? Because you found information on the video that I guess, because this was evolving, he said it was taken out of proportion, right?
Yes. Okay. He's British. I cannot verify that meanings have...
He's Scottish.
Okay, Scottish. Should I say from the UK? And they tend to use different sayings, okay? He's definitely...
UK people are different than Scottish.
Stupid, not being completely unaware of the alternative meaning. Okay. And I do agree that a lot of people are saying, under the context, that he is talking about the gamers get strung up. Okay, he very poorly worded,
and he's actually defending. He was defending. What is it? Marquette or whatever her name is. Alyssa Marconte.
Well, you can give defenses for it. She definitely overreacted to that particular retweet by that one guy. That one guy, I think JT Smash.
Yeah, he
definitely seems like a freak.
He's actually appeared on Tony's stream once or twice.
Yeah, I think I've seen him, but yeah. He retweeted someone who literally talks about virtually killing that woman in VR. Okay, it seems like some rather deranged stuff to do. And she overreacted like some fucking hell. I think the pressure's on the girl. You know, she's acting like it's all cool and doesn't matter, but I think the pressure's on. Her potential to lose the job, a whole bunch of other... Her world is coming crashing down.
Well,
yeah, I mean, it's not a defense for her, but it is an understanding of why she's doing stupid stuff now. Okay. Besides having, the activist brain rot.
Well, I mean, the big thing I think was, I will say, I don't view this is Gamergate 2.0. I just view this as a continuation. She went into the Discord with Cabrutus. She did the Streisand effect. She got called out because, let's say in 2014, we didn't recognize these tactics. Most people didn't. Now we do. Right.
Yes, but it's been 10 years. Is it the same exact tactics? Okay, that's my question.
Do they evolve?
Yes, things do evolve. Okay.
You say
how much they have evolved? That's hard to tell. Okay. They do evolve. Okay. Do they evolve? You can evolve for the better and you can evolve for the worst. Okay. Just saying something evolves does not mean it's getting better. It just means it changes.
Well, you're trying to go into that whole DEI and bridge because the notion is they're just trying to change it. But it is that was Kershey leading the charge upon that.
Yeah, I still don't know the end game with either DEI
because did you hear about
or bridge?
Did you hear about Jack whatever, who literally lost it?
Oh God,
not Jack, but what's his the guy who was the head of BlackRock lost his shit basically over somewhere, had a tantrum and it got caught in an article about
did not hear about that.
I'll have to send that to you. The guy who's the head of BlackRock, who was saying he wants to inject DEI, diversity. Apparently, he's complaining money's drying up, and as well as the backlash. Razorfist and a bunch of other people. So this is a story if you want to read it. So the guy is named Paul Scott Canavan. Now he says my opinion on that Park Place is still very, very, very... It's a new website. Probably not new-ish, but it's newer to the scene. They get some stuff right. but they also are. I mean, Vincent, how much do you take Josh F. Trent at his word?
No clue. It's just really hard to tell. He has a weird reading. As I said, I'll have a video about that tomorrow, involving that tomorrow.
So he's doing Fandom Pulse though, because here's the thing: I looked into this guy. I looked at what his pedigree is. He's worked on everything from Destiny in 2018 through Forsaken. A very interesting little pedigree of stuff he's worked upon. Besides Magic, I know of him more from Magic than being like he's an artist. Now he said he wants to track down and string up loved ones who he disagrees with. Now this isn't the case. Now he's getting
that's incorrect. That's an incorrect reading. Okay.
yes.
He wants to string them up, at least under his interpretation. That's to hold those people accountable. By the thing is to either tell their loved ones what they're doing online or their parents. In that case, that's the more fleshed out version of what he put on his.
That sounds like a good excuse, but I don't buy it.
I mean, it's still really fucking lame. I'm gonna tell on you.
Now, let me see. So, I disagree. When you say you're a Warhammer artist and you've only done 3 covers for Black Library books, that doesn't make you a Warhammer artist. That means he's worked with people. Now, this a little bit framing I don't like. Now, he is an artist. I mean, he doesn't have his... I've learned long ago to be very weary of people with nose piercings and septum piercings.
Huh? Nose piercings are common, okay?
What about septum piercings?
Okay, then you're getting a little bit out there, okay? I don't know. Depends on who you are.
So would you take an opinion or a hot take and not think it's weird from... I think Gundam said it recently in a video. Guys, if you see a girl with a septum piercing, run the other direction. Very far away.
Maybe. You don't put your D in that shit.
You don't put your D crazy. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to be taking a sabbatical for about 10 minutes. Okay, so
you're good. You
go without me. I'll be
good.
Time me. Okay, I know most of this already. Go over the article.
Yeah, you'll go. Okay. Yes. Okay, so him, right? I'll preference this. His portfolio isn't all, well, if you dig into it, right? Photo packs, tutorial, Gumroad. So if you go to his actual portfolio. Now, as I was telling him, this is the promo version of Ristic Study. Yeah, not the best one. He's really weird in his art. There's I found an art that was actually better. This is from the Commander deck. Was it a Commander deck? This isn't the original. This is a reprint of this. This is him doing... See, this is a very expensive card. He's there. He got himself... That is actually really big. Somehow... See, I know him from this Commander. Sabaz and Shabraz and Marlin. I guess he's done some. Now, is probably better. See, Aurelia the War Leader. This is from the Guild Kit. Now, arguably, I think it's better of Aurelia, but Aurelia suffers from really bad artwork. But, see, I actually have this card. I used it in a deck for a while. Like, it actually looks pretty good though. Like, very clean artwork. I find him very weird. I find his landscapes are better than his other. You know, I think his landscapes are 10 better than some of his actual people. Very vandal, so to speak. Before I throw in the joke, he's colorblind, right? That's a trick. But all artists have their different takes. Some are better, I'm assuming. His portfolio, I mean, his art station's probably a tinge better. You know? Find his art stations a tinge. So he's a little bit of an activist. He's like says you use the thing responsibly, just to show. See, this is the boss and this is the other. I see. I don't like this card. Like, this is very vague of the I don't know. Some of these are weird, right? See, these are where you show more. Like, strange. Some are hit or miss. Like 9 lives looks good. Like, I have to give the credit on the guy. That's actually a good card. It looks good. It's an adorable card. Funny, but never use it, but very pretty. Sometimes very good, sometimes not. I always find this very derpy. Don't ask why a shark has eagle wings. Welcome to the weirdest plane in all of Magic. You have shark dinosaurs. Don't know why. But a lot of his Dungeons and Dragons, right? He does some Warhammer. This is Black Library books. This doesn't look right. Body looks okay. Head, disagree with. Doesn't look right. Proportions don't. Like, I can see this right here. He did that for a combat game. As I said, he has worked on, like, all the way back through Bungie. He's had a pretty good 10 years. Now, in the article, right, it's basically, I mean, I personally find some of his stuff borderline cringe. I mean, listen to him, it's a little weird. Now, I don't know how it's be weary. See, his comic came in response to the post from senior editor Alyssa Maricate, which detailed that she had tracked down the wife of YouTuber Smash JT and sent her a message on Facebook asking what she thinks about the father of her children harassing a woman online, and laughing when she shares that someone they're supporting has been threatening to kill them for weeks. Now, this claim about being threatened to be killed is about as valid as Catherine Baskin in the Discord for Helldivers saying she's been threatened. Now, to shut down Kotaku and in Shitaku to trending. To be fair, if you're on the bad end of PR, do you embrace it, right? Now, I don't know. I would love it. I wouldn't love it if my husband was doing this. Oh, so you think it's funny you threatened. So this is actually, I guess, a tweet chain. Never thought I'd so much pleasure in Alyssa Merck sprigging out about me, but here we are. Hashtag in Kotaku. Now she slid to my DMs, like being I'm married GTFO. Now, this is a guy he's hung around with Tony. So you think that it's funny you platformed a guy, I guess. Anyway, I found your Facebook and I asked if she thinks about the father of her children harassing it and laughing when she shares that someone they're supporting has been threatening to kill them for weeks. So, now, this is a side, but this is the setup. There's a lot of people who are white knighting for this woman. Now, there's a lot of activists. Okay. So, first off, you shouldn't bring families into stuff. This was the stage. I mean, she hasn't really protected her tweets as bad as Chris Kinred. Okay. Chris Kinred has done a lot to protect his tweets. Now, in response, the user who asked him if he would be okay, Canavan said, I mean, if I turn into a total piece of and start harassing women online, go nuts. I guess no double standards. All right, let me find your mother and partner and harass them. Fair game. Gotcha. I learned from the good guys. Upside down smiley face. I mean, if I turn into a total... yeah, so I guess. Oh, so this is the point. And I guess this is carte blanche, right? You know, who knows? Not only would he double down, he claimed the opinion that the loved one be tracked down and strung up and not controversial. The YouTuber, that umbrella guy, fascinating. Is that the company stance or stringing up moms and significant others? I think you misunderstood. Our conversation was about to hold accountability for those attacking their answers. I don't think it's a super controversial take. Fascinating company stance. Significant others. I guess here, right? This is those guys. And this is the tweet itself. Now, Mark Kern, who's been in the news, an indie dev making Pale Tides defends Kotaku's attack on families. Family members of critics track down their significant others and string them up. Now, we can play the semantic word game, but we all know what this means.
What does it mean?
What do you mean? Stringing up families?
Is that what he meant, though?
Is this what he meant? Or he didn't understand? Now, do you not think? Okay, we both deal in the Twitter sphere and we've seen hyperbolic, right? String people up. What is the first thing that comes to mind? I like how other people put it. Apparently, this man. So, it's what I've said about Dave and other progressives. They're racist. They're more racist than their own enemies. But they don't see themselves as racist. They don't see themselves as the people who are bad. Wouldn't you agree, Vince? Kind of a blinders.
No, they definitely have biases that leftists would call racist. I wouldn't necessarily call it racist, but I'm a sensible person.
Well, would you see it as a double standard?
Depends.
Tolerance,
you can't lump all people on the left together. Technically, I think I'm slightly on the left, but not of the brain rot variety. Okay, I'm more of a moderate.
See,
okay, guy.
Here's what he does. This is what I disagree with, right? So it might be he has debate brain. This is not how you follow up. You should always think about your interactions. you know you're being clipped. Like this guy right here.
No, that's where I disagree. He might not know he's always being clipped. Okay, we know people do this. We would have been able, if we were him, even if we had his same exact mindset, we would have known this is completely stupid. Does he know? I don't know.
You're right. He because he's also used to hanging in echo chambers like Wokehammer and other people that applaud
and they probably
his
make
action.
these jokes and sort of
amplify
amplify each other. It's
what did he
perfectly
have when
socially
I looked at
acceptable
his
for
what is it? I looked at one of his people. They have like a watermelon. So if you see a watermelon, that's like a Palestinian flag or something. Yeah. So that's what Kate Baskins did from Helldivers, who she said people were threatening to kill her. And she also has said in that Discord as well. This is actually, I don't know how much you know about the Helldivers situation. There's another guy who threatened, and he said Grum's wife found Grum's wife and said Grum's wife should divorce him. And bad shit should happen to Grums. But he still has his job as a community manager for Helldivers. That is a can.
I would not.
That is a can of worms.
Oh, it is risky if true. Okay. Okay, you should not contact someone for their opinions on the internet unless.
Do you know about how bad the Helldivers CM situation is?
Oh, trust me, the campaign to get them all fired. Okay, no wonder they hate this guy. Okay, he's literally trying to cancel them for their jobs. Okay. If you flip it around, I can understand why they hate him so much. Okay.
But to be fair, they were all a part of an alphabet brigade as well.
What does that mean? Okay. They see us all as hetero, cis, white supremacists. Possibly.
So, okay. They all let's say hypothetically, that is a situation I've been needing to go to. Because Kate Baskin was the first one. She just changed her stuff, took the flags out of her bio, then put a watermelon. Fine. Meaning she's still pro-Palestinian. Cool.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with being pro.
Cool.
It's the people who want to wish the genocide on the Jews because of their fervent belief there's a genocide.
Now,
okay, there's always going to be nuance in it. What type of pro-Palestinian person is she? Okay, I don't know. Okay,
it's a separate. But without that, and the whole thing, right, is she had some other stuff and she simplified it. Now the other guy, Spitz, was also saying damn people, but he was also speaking the Sony message about the PSN. He lost. He was actually fired or removed as a community manager.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure
enough to know there's someone fired and someone demoted.
The other one that threatened Grums, it's still there. Now, granted, the whole thing when I went over it on my stream the other day, like I was just gaming and covering it, about the Helldivers, that's a rare win for players. I expected Sony to double down and just let Helldivers die. I actually did.
Yeah, they were stupid with that. Okay. I don't know where in the chain the stupidity happened, and I don't really care. It's just like, oh, really? You're requiring that for PCs?
They burned off every bit of goodwill. They burned off almost all their goodwill.
With PC players, at least.
And PC,
even with some console players,
PC was probably about 60% of the base.
I'm sure some PC players didn't have a problem with it, but there's a lot of normies out there.
See, here's the problem.
Who went seriously into it.
I'll say this before we move on. The concept of having too many accounts link, it just means another thing you have to gate. And it's the fact no one trusted Sony's guidelines.
I wouldn't trust Sony as far as I could throw them. Okay.
Because Sony can record you in-game. It's bad enough that Helldivers on PC has built-in rootkit into it, by the way.
Yep. Anti-piracy.
No, it has built-in rootkit, which is worse. And how I know about it is one of my friends...
Yeah, but how they defend it with the anti-piracy claim, okay? I'm saying their defense.
Fuck.
it's all crap.
I would never install it. Like, I was going to get it. Like, I tolerate little stuff from Bethesda, but like Fallout 76 in there, Borderline de Novo / they can't fix cheating and fall in their games. Fine. I run events there. They still people find out cheats, but good. But the whole thing with Helldivers is it's not like people are targeting them. This is along the same people that are like this guy. They believe stuff, but they're survivors. But it's this whole thing of people are looking at community managers and people closer. Because supposedly, like Splits was saying, like, oh, I didn't threaten people and tell them to go kill themselves. Go take a walk outside. So if I tell you to take a long walk down a pier into very deep water, is that not a euphemism?
Is that not a threat? That's just a saying, okay? You piss someone off.
Take a walk off a long pier.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Especially if they said something stupid to you. That's like saying, fuck off, okay? A little more gusto there.
A little more gusto. You're right.
Yeah, of course. Okay, there's always nuance. There's always a sense.
There's a way. There's two words. There's two ways of saying. Okay. There's two ways of saying that, though. Take a long walk off a pier and don't stop.
Yeah, you go sleep with the fishies.
I'm sorry. I've been around gaming way too long to know what crap means.
Yeah, I just have a higher standard of this. And
so this is his original, right? Because his actual, like, if you want to bring it up, his tweets are protected now.
Yep, I know.
Like, literally, it's that bad. Like, I've been seeing this guy in Wokehammer and stuff for a long time. I didn't know. Now, of course, you have Grums, right? I guess this is the difference. I guess because when you say something stupid on Twitter, I guess I'll get this into this. So, Grums has been probably getting all stuff created at Big Bat for Grimoire, an indie dev making Pelotides defends Kotaku's attack on the family. It was actually Alyssa who found the family member of Smash. Do you think that's unethical?
Go into the Facebook and basically say, yeah, this is what your husband up to. I think that's definitely crossing the line. Okay. I would need to actually see what she said to the wife. Okay. It's definitely breaks something. It's crossing a line that a journalist.
This is what she said.
Well, she's a journalist. Okay.
She says, anyway, I found the Facebook and I asked she thinks about the father of her children harassing women online and laughing when she shares that someone they're supporting has been threatening to kill them for weeks. I would be curious what that message was.
Yeah, I would really want to know. I meant, as a journalist, I think if it was over something serious for a story, you would want to talk to them. But if you're just doing it, sorry, this is a really weird line. It's definitely crossing a big major line for the internet, taking online beef, contacting people's family members for things said online. But
what was it? Actman did that. What was it? Quantum did that to Actman.
And everyone
shit on him, rightfully so.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, he did that take. It took him about 2 weeks to get to the Escape from Tarkov story. I miss Actman of old.
Actman is interesting. Okay, definitely spazzed out during that whole drama.
This is the whole thing, because I've seen this guy, right? Because he's been in my stuff. Like, okay, I think you may have misunderstood the conversations about holding people accountable for their actions on the internet. I don't think it's a super controversial take. This is his answer. He maybe realized he fucked up.
Yeah, I meant just the statement, hold these people accountable for their content online. Fair enough. Criticize them and even
But
do some other stuff
that's
about
not what
it.
the
But
broader.
contacting family to sort of get them in trouble with the family, as I said, it's just fucking snitch behavior. Okay,
He
you
should
know
be
your
going
husband
after
or your child.
her.
Why? Why
He should be
should
going
he?
after her if he says that's his stance.
Why should he be going after her? From his perspective, what has she done? Okay, that he would have heard about.
She went after the family. Now, this is where, if you take a person, I think the man clearly would claim he's neurodivergent.
Sorry. Went after the family. We don't know what transpired. All we know is that she contacted the wife of this guy. Okay,
Yes.
that's the only thing we know. Okay, report from what
Yes.
he's saying. She said a whole bunch of stuff about him harassing. I know about his history a little bit, and I know he gets a little obsessive.
What do you mean, JT
Like with
Smash?
FOMO? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very
he's
little.
a
FOMO.
weird one. As I said, I've seen him. So you're saying like this here, like this makes sense. Like I don't know if he tweets like there's self-awareness, right? So he was tweeted this. All right, let me find your mother and partner and harass them. Fair game. Gotcha. I love to learn from the good guys. I mean, yeah, if I turn into a total piece of shit, start harassing women, go nuts. What do you make of that? Joke / he doesn't understand what he just said?
No, he's halfway serious. Okay, he is half joking. Like, yeah, if I become this big of a, if I constantly go after women and talk shit about them online, yeah, harass me. He legitimately believes that. But what he understands, his concept of harassment, other people's concept of harassment,
Yeah, it's very
probably
different.
different.
Very
Yeah,
different.
it just comes from,
Because
as you said, there is an element of echo chamber that's probably highly involved on both sides here. I can't agree with either side. Okay, they're
so I
both
guess he's
fucked.
worked with
Which one's
Val.
more fucked? Okay, that's the
Uh,
question.
Now, I'm not going to say Grums is trying to take a victory lap against people. Now, I guess I would love to see the whole official chain of this because it would tell more, but the tweets are protected now.
Yeah. Oh, that
this-
tweet is deleted also. Okay,
Oh, no
but
shit.
maybe he didn't delete the whole thing.
I highly doubt he deleted the whole. Like he probably protected his tweets, then probably.
No, I think he first deleted this comment.
No, it was
Yeah.
still up as of yesterday.
Okay.
I know.
I don't know how long he took.
His stuff wasn't privated until, I guess, really.
Well, no, you can delete a tweet then after screen capping it, and people using that as reference.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, how many likes are in them? I mean, how many views did it get? Well, that's at the time of screen cap. How long was it up? I don't fucking
absolutely. What is this? Let's see if I can bring this up or this. So,
okay, you got 29 likes. Okay,
this is absolutely the
quotes.
play. We should do it. This is what he said in response, I guess, to Alyssa's. This is absolutely the play. We should be doing this with all these weird creeps. Track down their significant others and mothers and string them up.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely
7 quotes,
praised.
29 likes.
Yep. So it's been it was definitely up for.
See, here's Cabrutus. So he has an upcoming game. And Dr. Gonzo and Protected.
Okay. So they're going to target the game now. They're definitely already going after the company. Take a look at the company. You can.
I'm pretty sure. I'm surprised WotC. I mean, for WotC to put a gag on their Reddit, dear God, it had to be bad. Those moderators are. What's funny is I'm finding a lot of the centrists. He didn't mean it that way. He's trying to get accountability. But that's not what stringing up means. Do you got enough holes in the hood, or is the hood above your head?
No, you
Is
can
it
look up that
strangling the
definition.
blood flow to your brain?
The definition is to punish someone severely if you're using the alternative meaning.
But that's not what it means to most of the world.
Huh?
That's not what it means.
It has two different definitions. Okay, I'm good faith in it. Okay.
You're having good faith. You give good faith. I think
Yes, because it makes more context within what is being said. You can't actually, unless it's metaphorical. What?
So you're telling me if Dane tells you to, like how Dane's tweets along with Morgan that transphobes need to get cancer and die, that's not bad? Which he has said.
Cancer and...
Or bad shit.
They already have cancer, so misery love company. Okay.
That's what they do.
It's not nice. Okay, I agree.
He does it on his thing. It's like, I mean, that's why I say that this is the actual one. And I guess now I can agree. Grums is. See, Grums also knows who this guy is because he's in the 40K space. I heard Morgan. Morgan was like, how could this man be in 40K? It's like me getting told Bricky was in 40K. Judging by Bricky's channel, I could never tell he was in 40K. Just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, two definitions of string someone up. To kill someone by hanging them by the neck from a rope, usually as punishment for a crime. Okay. Second one, to punish someone severely. Okay. So he wants to punish these people severely for harassing women. I believe that was the context he meant to be. Him calling it holding people accountable is a little bullshit to me, but he wants to punish these people, yes, by fibbing on their significant other or their parents. I mean, even with his clarifications, it still seems like a bitch move, okay?
Yeah, this happened the day of, and people, I guess, were screenshotting his tweets, I guess, and I mean, I don't think it is, because he's getting ratioed. I don't see a lot of people threatening him to tell him to kill himself.
No, of course they don't. That's what you're not getting, okay?
What do you mean? They lack self-awareness? Yeah. Marxists are dangerous. This is my whole thing, right? Because I looked at this guy when in an interview. Let's say I told you this before, but I'll say it to the audience and people who see this in future. This guy came on an interview 2 years ago with a guy who interviews artists and other people. And he interviewed him because he did a very big magic card everyone does or uses next to the Aurelia. Like, I mean, you didn't see this earlier. You don't know it. Like, I know of him because of some of his artwork. This.
Yeah, because knowing artists.
You know art. Okay? You know art in this game. Like, I know of this.
I just don't care about the artist, okay?
This version.
I play the game because I'm a gamer.
I do. I play too, but I also play.
If I was an appreciator of art, I would maybe follow some of the artists, but I don't.
This is actually the Aurelia I wanted, and I still do want it because it's only in the guild kit, and it's pretty good. Some of his artwork is, I question it, but you know. See, it's an interesting choice of words, right? I guess chat GPT to get it. Aggressive action towards individuals, weird creeps, suggesting tracking them down and their segmenting others, possibly by harming them, stringing them up. So how do you interpret this?
I interpret they want to harm.
This is how they did found the laws of channels. Like us.
Well, as I said,
ChatGPT basically saying, not good.
Yeah. Do I trust Chat GP? They're going to try. AI is going to try taking over the world. People should be warned, okay? They're trying to cause division.
So the reason I have it a lot, like you can't see who this guy followed back in there, but
Yeah.
it's funny when you realize who people are in the space. And see, it goes a little further. I guess you'll have yours. So sending a hate mob after me seems like a little unkind, considering I was just agreeing that people who attack others online should be held accountable. I admit it was poorly phrased, but also admit it wasn't a statement. It was a reply to a tweet. Now, this is when I say maybe he's not used to people
Giving him shit online? Probably. As I said,
probably.
I would really like the sort of context to all of this. Maybe it makes more sense.
Well, here's my way I see this, right? Maybe, because from what I listened to of that hour-long talk, it's on Concepts and Legends, he talks about his art stuff, and he has a couple of years going back how he built up his portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
But when he was talking about it, he felt him as an artist working in a company, if you have a platform, you should use it for representation and use it responsibly.
For representation. Did
And
you
to
say that
advance,
exact word?
he said, use representation and his responsibility as a creator to advance stuff and use your content responsibly. I should, because it's part as he says, as an artist who works in a major space, I should be able to put my representation. There was like a regular pin, and this was about, I guess, was about 2 years ago. Now, in reality, it's like he realized he screwed up then, like he wasn't going to say, and put forth his perspective, representation, and his perspective. Now, a lot of people who aren't used to coded language, this is meaning he would put his agenda. Now, he does have a thing that I can show.
Not his agenda, just the general progressive agenda.
Maybe he
Yes.
does have these values. And this is him as an artist. Now, the joke, by the way, is he said, judging by some artwork, he was colorblind. Sorry. Fine.
Oh, hey, now I'm working for myself and some amazing clients. I feel comfortable talking about a big old thing which has plagued me throughout my life and my career as an artist and art director. I am colorblind. Like really quite colorblind. Okay, what sort of colorblind though?
That is true. But can a colorblind person be racist?
I think he's literally saying he can't tell some colors from other colors. Okay.
I understand. Some people have that. But can a colorblind person be racist?
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
That's stupid. Can blind person be racist? Wasn't there a whole Chappelle skit about that?
The Black Klansman.
Exactly. Anyone can be intolerant towards another group. Okay.
I'm sorry. I have to do this. It's funny. But a lot of the big Twitter.
It's fair enough.
Look.
It is funny. I do agree. Just because I'm not laughing does not mean that I don't find it.
See, this is the image, right? When you look at some of his artwork, I guess it kind of tells. Like 9 Lives. Like, I would never play this card, but this card's designed well. Like, some of his cards are very bleached.
Gives me a Lion King feel.
Yeah, so it's a very, very, very pretty artwork. I own one just for the art. Now, when you get to this, I know of him for this in Commander.
Sharknado.
Yes, it's a flying shark. Yes. But this is what he's talking about brightness, right? Yeah, it gets a little bleached out, but so it's weird. it's kind of weird. Like you could say an artist because I feel sometimes these people have an agenda. Like maybe, but he does sound like a profound. He gave me the sense. I have to see him in some other interviews. I think he does do the artist thing where he, because like he said earlier, if I was out of line, hold me accountable. But does that mean later on in the same statement he would dodge the responsibility?
Oh, you have not been following the Hopeless Peaches Leo convoy drama, have you? That group loves the term hold people accountable. And generally it's just an excuse to bully someone online, okay? It's just the
Hmm.
way they get around bullying people, okay? The people of a more progressive
See?
mindset.
See, I guess the X user Condom 3 said, you want someone held accountable, say what? You go after their loved one? Have some of your own medicine? It's so-called accountability. It's what you want. Again, I was just replying to a tweet. I understand how it was misread and I'm taking accountability here. Which, I mean, I can say the layout of these articles or
I don't see. I don't even know what that term means. I'm taking accountability. Sorry,
do
I
you really?
I don't know. They don't know the meaning of the word. Okay, how do you take accountability by deleting the tweet? By going private? Oh, fucking hell, I don't know.
Do we know
It's
anymore?
no, because that word has very little meaning.
So here's Grum. So anybody else who've I saw this tweet. So you know anyone else who wanted to find your families and string them up for, just accountability? These people feel like on the table, and I guess it's the one from Iron Skies.
Yeah, I still think that's a bad reading. They want to string up or heavily punish the people who are being creeps online by telling on them. Okay. I don't know how anyone
Well,
else is
okay.
reading it much
Grums is
else.
this whole thing about open bounties. Like apparently Asmongold got a bounty on him too. And then that who was that late YouTuber or Twitch person who like destroyed her stuff? She goes, "I'm just joking, man."
Was
Okay, so this I don't know.
not Keffels. Who was it? The other
Uh,
Hassan, the actual Hassan sit. Denim.
Denims,
Okay,
yes. Yeah, it was
okay.
Denims.
She's always on Hassan's balls, though. Okay,
Well, you
she
figure.
defended him during the first React gate when he was getting shit for saying being a streamer was so hard. She tried to have a whole cope and agree with him with some whole
Uh-huh.
tweet. That's pretty much deleted. Going on, yeah. Back when I worked, I would drive like an hour and worked 8 hours a day and went to university. Streaming is much harder. I'm like,
So what do you
seriously?
yeah, so what do you make of this? Next he posted it goes purging gamers BBC open bounties. It's just a joke, bro. Normalize death threats. Now family huntings for hangings. It's a sport for games journalists and woke game devs everywhere now. Mask off.
Yeah, but he strips that intent. He strips all the nuance out of it,
Yes.
and he's given it a spin. Again, this guy did not say go after families. They were trying to tattletale on
I think
families to
he's
get.
saying into broad.
And some people
Now,
are going to take this literally, and that is just as bad as normalizing death threats. Okay.
this the whole thing of Denham's basically said she would raise the bounty to $30,000 to get this man out of her timeline.
But only if they increase the boob size. Okay. She was clearly trying to make a joke. Was it a
Yeah,
bad joke? Completely.
bad joke.
Should she
Yes.
be criticized and mocked for it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. She should be mocked all the time. But to take that as a legitimate threat and not just a bad joke.
I think we're getting into the territory of all fandoms and sides have crazy people.
Yep.
This is
Okay.
why I dislike what Tony does and people like him.
Yep.
Because Tony may not say crap because the frog who wants to come after me needs to hold himself accountable. And
Is Tony or his simp still listening? I
oh,
want
they
a
do,
debate or
they
discussion
do,
with
they
fucking
do,
bitch boy.
they do.
Okay,
By the way, because I was
I
sitting.
want that discussion or debate with him. He wants to be a little
Oh, he
bitch
won't do
about
that
things.
now. He
Of
won't
course
do
not.
that. Oh
Okay,
no, no, no.
this is
No, it's
this
kind
is
of
how
like
I hold people accountable.
oh, by
They
the way,
they run their mouths. Okay, I'll come up to them and be like, okay, you want to back this up? We'll have a discussion. Talk it out. We can debate it if you really want to get over it. But no, then call them a bitch and coward because that's what they are.
I know.
This is why I personally, I'm like, you want to talk shit about me? Come on my stream, okay? We'll talk it out, okay? Maybe
Oh
I'll
yeah.
concede to your point if you can convince me,
He's
jackass.
taking his own. I don't know. I want people to see this, right? I got sent this. You see here? This is Tony being a tard, by the way.
Let's not get too much into Tony. I think it's
I've known
epically
Tony's a
known that
tard
he's a
for a
tard.
while, by the way. I have known about this. And Tony, if you see this, I just have access to this Twitter. So don't take it quite literally. You and TJ Laser might want to work on your artwork and not get bent out of shape because I call your crown artwork bad. That's a joke from a lot of our side. And Twitter made fun of you too. See, Tony goes for the own. He brings this up.
Cringe. Okay.
By the way,
proving
I
my
want you to
stream
know.
title.
I want you to know, right here. See, on the topic of enlightened centrist and third-party anarchist, right? This
probably a dig at fucking
Tony and a bunch of other people who sit on the sidelines and.
Oh, did you see his dressing down a Vito after the Nathan Grayson? That was just funny how badly.
Who did that?
Vito. I
haven't gotten into the
shit.
whole.
Oh, that was funny. They brought him Vito on, and Vito just floored them. Okay, there was only one guy who even stood a chance, and it wasn't Tony.
Oh. To be fair, Tony has his own problems. I mean.
Oh yes, trust me.
Let's be clear.
I found the sort of I found out something.
I have found out. I have found a bunch. This is what I'm talking about. Do you see this right here? This sub count.
Check the social blade. Okay, you can usually find a discrepancy if that you can. It's not proof positive of. Yeah, I see that. Is that 400 in a day?
It's not 400. He went up like it's about 250 or so.
Did he have a very a successful stream?
So this is him, I guess. It shows what May 4th, right? But it's not translating to views. This is him. I've also caught him on his streams saying have his alt subscribe and click the video watch over and over again. So that was the 4th. This was the 6th. And apparently, with him doing nothing, this is him on the 8th. His views on his videos aren't going up. They're, in fact, dropping.
Okay, well.
That is the weirdest metric.
Okay, we all love a little bit of the frog Tony hate around here, but let's get back on topic now. Okay,
yes, indeed. But see, Tony came across this guy because, I need your opinion, really quick. What springs to mind when you see this artwork?
Weird eyes, weird boobs. I don't know.
He said this is going to get colored. This is the person who triggered him.
Well,
by the way.
Okay, maybe they should fix some of those lines first. I mean, maybe the coloring would help some. I don't know.
He says coloring's fine. Sorry. Let's see what's this other one. Sorry. What's the other one? Sorry. So this is like him, like I guess this. Renowned and them have said this is like. By the way, this man. Have you seen what he looks like?
I saw that video. Okay.
You see,
He looks
this is
better
him.
in that photo, at least.
He
Okay.
looks better in this face than the other. This is
Yeah,
actually what the
wow.
man looks like.
Oh, are you
Let's see.
sure? Could
Yep,
be
let's see.
photoshopped. Okay.
No, this is
Altered
him.
filter.
No, this is him.
Okay. You're giving him more credible.
That's an old photo of him, though. I need to find a good one from the art, but his look. So when he got showed up, he said he was like Eddie Guerrero, but he's trying to make fun of Renown. By the way, he says he's not ripping off with this artwork. He's not ripping off the guy from Batman Beyond.
This is a pretty standard look. Okay.
Mm.
It's a lazy style, just a no face thing.
I'm trying to find the one.
There's a lot of people who look just like that.
I'm trying to go through his stuff because he always promotes. No, he has this weird art. I've had what was it? Romeo look at it, and it's entirely off. But I'm gonna get before I get sidetracked. I could literally tear this man down for days, but it's very boring. But it's funny. That man deserves everything he gets. So this is the thing, right? So I guess he quote retweets this. Now I do think Grums, I guess Vox Day. See, Vox Day is another. What is Vox Day exactly famous for?
Oh, he was the one who wasn't happy with Cornell's Sad Puppies movement. So he created a more extreme version within that whole spear. I don't know the details. Okay.
I know he did a comic.
He's a writer. Okay.
I know he did some
wouldn't
stuff.
take him as a fucking source from what I know, but maybe what I hear about him is a stream.
He has a
this
stream?
Is a stream person, okay. A more moderate conservative person like Larry Cornell.
He's a very MAGA person, I know that much.
Yes, he's extremely right. Okay. It says more about Trent by putting this. What does it even say about this? Why are they bringing up this fucking book even? What does this have to do with this guy?
That's what I agree. I'm curious, but what does it have to do? I guess, okay, here's what he's saying, I guess.
It's virtue signaling using a day book, I guess.
I guess instead of coming clean in one way or another, the SJW will double down and attempt to shore up his lies. Should be their lies. By contradicting even larger framework of deceit and misdirection. Supporting them, he will throw the full weight of his statues and credibility in an effort to call support for his entire social network and try to turn the risk of potential exposure into popularity contest between them and the individual threatening to expose them. The goal is to destroy the whistleblower's credibility, so even if the truth comes out, no one will believe it.
Cope. Yeah, this is a tactic definitely well documented among SJWs of the 2000 era.
That's
not
way
all SJWs.
That's not all of them.
It's a broad brush. Okay, this is.
What is it?
And we still have what we would consider SJWs like this, like Bosch. Okay, Bosch, maybe even Keffels. There's definitely still.
You know what? I don't even think. You know what? I don't think
Hall might fit this. Also,
so you know when Bosch got caught horsing around.
Yes.
I don't even think half his audience really gave a shit.
Nope.
They didn't care because they're into it too. But that's
probably okay. They're like, oh,
just don't let it get caught, boys.
Yeah.
Now,
we not promote videos on Bosch.
So basically, right, the tactics, right, like I guess it's from Vox Day's book. Now, Vox Day isn't the first person to say this. Are you familiar with Zelensky and tactics? what the Democrats use?
Yes, it keeps on getting brought up. This is another problem. They always get fucking the same exact quotes get brought up.
Embrace
God,
the
it annoys me.
controversy. Some of it people do. So I guess they say this. This is why I say credibility falls apart a little bit. The accusations would be made. In Canavan's case, he's advocating for the very minimum of harassment, campaigning against individuals agree, while his vile comments exposed by Kern. Now, people for what they're worth.
And at the very end, he puts the question, what do you make of Caravan's comments heightening the rhetoric? Okay, I believe that the tweets were shit.
I think he realized maybe he was in over his head replying, and then he got himself caught. Now, if you are kind of terminally online, the reason why I say sometimes he might be the tolerant left is sometimes there are loons amongst these people, like Dane. Dane is the one who messaged him and others. He tried to get them to message MegaCon to keep Eric July out of it. Dane took credit for it. He showed the email he sent. Now, you have people like this who do the double speak. Alyssa probably does it. Now, there is the concept of embrace the tactics of the enemy, but I don't see a lot of conservatives that bring families into it. They attack you as a person, but they don't attack families. You never bring children into it. So I don't know.
I don't think children were even implied, okay? People are just going to ramp it up, though, the rhetoric of the people against these people. Yes, this guy's probably cringe. How cringe? I don't know. From what you said, use it for representation, and if you have a platform, sounds at least moderate cringe, okay? By cringe, I mean...
It is cringe now. 2 years. I mean, I didn't cut it off, but it's like, it's mostly...
It's always been cringe. Just some people just didn't want to say anything about it, okay?
I mean, if you're an artist, I have found most artists
types tend to be very empathetic and, you know,
left
leaning in perspective, okay?
Yes. It's kind of like, let's see the comment. Now, this site, take it for what it is. This Trent's new site, or is it Fandom Pulse?
No clue. Is he trying to get people from this website to his own? I think this is just for his channel. Click on it. I think it's just links to the not Park Place. I'm talking about the banner on the side.
I just don't know about this channel. I've seen it, right? Because Disney's stock actually dropped the other day. So John F. Trent writes on here. WW Pro.
Yeah, so far I haven't read much from Trent, but there's definitely a lot of cringe there.
That's a face you could love, by the way.
Not really my type, but you go for it, Timon. Okay.
I heard this. Okay. I've heard about this. I haven't delved.
Gray can have Velma. Patrick can have Katie. You can have her. I don't know who I'll end up with. There's Luke. Okay, let me go that way. That's a face only.
See, this is interesting right here, right? This has been here. Like, this is why, like, his site's interesting, right? This story gets quoted, but there's a little more nuance to this.
Who is the writer of this one? Is this also Trent? Yeah.
James Swallow. Yeah. So James Swallow confirms he included gender transition. Now, this isn't a side story, okay? I once knew that before they transitioned. It's in the Book of Heroes. The name. Now, this implies in 40K, the passage, right? I've heard this explained, and this is a problem I have, like, if you would go into it, and here's my thought process. These people don't understand the 40K setting, but progressives want in the 40K. It is the most anti-progressive setting ever. You can get a bolter round in the back of your head because they think you hate the emperor. And they're going to let a person transition? Yeah, right. You'll be burned at the stake as a heretic. Because it's that fucked up of a future.
Yeah.
So, this website's interesting, but like on the guy though, like I wish I could have seen his tweets before they got nuked.
And then private it.
Yeah, because this man hangs around with Bitshammer and a bunch of other people. Right? His Twitch, Instagram, Prince. I mean, his YouTube channel. I mean, it's not like, I guess it's used to promote his art. Because if you look at his YouTube channel, it's pretty benign. Right? It's very benign. He worked on Guild Wars 2.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely not using his YouTube channel to promote any sort of activist agenda.
No. He's using it to promote his works.
The Nice Friend Show.
I mean, this looks like an artist, right? I call it a little bit cringe, but you know.
Yeah.
He's out there. I mean, let me see. So you found the hold on. You are the one who found the one. No. I gotta bring my. Hold on. So, Discord. Now, Discord, right? One day I need actually. So, for people who never saw this, right? So, this was what he said. I guess you found this. What video was this posted on? Smash?
No, just his most recent one.
Someone actually went to it?
BG Show Reel. It's just his most recent one. Yeah. As of the current time period, I think all the comments are all from people from Grums, or actually, no, sorry. This
he said he accused Grums of it. It's from this.
Yeah, it's not actually Grums. Okay.
Yeah, so someone went through his stuff when they looked up his channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So currently, almost all the comments, 125, are all from people.
Yep.
So I wouldn't take this seriously. I would laugh off someone came to my channel and just put a whole bunch of these comments.
I mean, a lot of these. I mean, he says, but he's blaming Grums for it versus people who are on the fringe, right? Because there's a lot of people in the culture war that are tired of seeing their stuff destroyed.
Well, that's the thing. You set a narrative and you just point people, be like, here it is.
But don't like harass Bellamy, them. But don't
like
harass
Bellamy
them.
Gaming. Wink, wink. Okay. Just ask
wink,
questions.
Wink, look at it.
Questions aren't harassment. And these people are very soft. They're not used to these sort of like look at go to sort by new on the channel. I'm just looking
That's
at
what
them.
I'm doing.
And God, these claims are just outrageous. Okay.
God,
and yeah, they're saying they're interpreting him in the worst way possible.
Yeah, it's pretty disingenuous. This is getting worse in the last hour or 2 hours. So, a longtime fan, that's the one you said you have here.
Yeah.
Like he goes,
Okay.
I'm very disappointing, and then the other, and maybe it is like he could have been better.
Yeah. I mean, even this person seems to have some nuance to him.
So I think some of these are, but they do slow down, and he's not really moderating it. So now it's interesting and telling, I guess. I bet. Let's see if this is an old account first before I say it. You never know these people, how old these people really are. Oh yeah, this is definitely a Toon account. Oof,
Yeah.
that's definitely a Toon account. I bet WotC Games Workshop and all of the companies you work with will let your comments slide because leftists condone calls to violence as long as they are against the right people. See,
the Huxley quote. I love the Huxley quote.
So a lot of people are really blowing this one out. But now the problem is I can see why he privated his tweets. But same way, I think there was still gold in them. Now, a lot of these people. Oh God! See, there's some that are worse that are just attack brigading him now.
Yep.
Ugh.
I mean, I would just laugh it off. I'm like, dude.
He is. He is. I think he's
Okay.
just trying to fucking ignore it.
Well, he's at least clarified and did something with the comments.
He should just clarify and lock the comment section. But then again, that would be a victory.
Yeah. Moral delights. Moral treat. Huxley moral treat. I always love this quote. The surest way to work up a crusade in favor of some good cause is to promise people they'll have a chance to maltreat someone, to be able to destroy with good conscience, to be able to behave badly and call your bad behavior righteous indignation.
I mean, he tried to. He tried to.
Psychological luck.
So he's tried to say, well, if you Google, I think if you see what comes up. It was never meant to be held someone accountable. It means killing by hanging. But I am going to be put a little faith in you that you assume you didn't truly know what you were saying. But you can see why people think you're dishonest, and you just don't trust your apology when it seems you are likely intentionally misleading a phrase in order to obfuscate, at the very least, you call for the death of your critics, and more literally called for.
But it's they're taking the worst interpretation. That just fucking bugs me.
There is no
I mean,
critic
even
involved. The weird thing is people are running with. It was a response to someone who was receiving death threats. I'm aware that the phrase has far worse meaning, especially in the US, and that's why I deleted the tweet. I'm not some weird agitator. I saw the tweet and responded and thought it better to delete it. Now, the context would be better if he did not lock down his Twitter, but just saying.
Yep. Okay, but at least he hasn't just deleted it. A lot of people are just deleting their Twitter outright. Okay, and that never is a good. It's never.
Do you mean delete
how to go?
Well, Chris Bacon deleted his Twitter.
Oh, a lot of people are deleting it. They don't know how to handle this pressure.
Chris Bacon did, who was a weirdo who followed Eric July. He deleted his tweet after his whole Twitter after admitting to paying his friend to basically dox a whole bunch of people. And Tony's trying to run from cover. He goes, yeah, Chris Bacon's not talking to anybody now. He also privated the Reddit he was running, deleted his YouTube channel where he was putting out videos. Yeah.
Yeah, you should look at the Grimoire, which Grum's highlighted. They're trying to get this guy fired.
Is it? Well, who's the company? Do you have a link to their main or no?
Yeah, it looks pretty inactive. Give me a sec.
But I will say this, though. Aaron, World Order, right? Hangs around with Tony. He has 6,500 subs. Yeah, he can't get any views.
Oh, God, this one's horrible. Why are you hiring serial killers to represent your customer? This is just outright.
I can guarantee he's now getting the weirdos now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. And I don't endorse this. You're getting the people on the culture war now.
Yep.
Now, these people don't want to mess with.
Wow. Not really, because they're trying to cancel people. Okay? They're just...
Well, to be fair...
What? To be fair or feared? They're trying to cancel these people from their jobs, okay? And Mercer, I believe it's... Yeah, the Kotaku journalist has been... God, the amount of fucking videos on her is fucking insane.
God. I mean...
Videos, articles, okay.
Look, I'm sure some man
is she the only cringe SJW that they can go after? Besides,
I'm sure there's more, but
why just her? That's what I'm not understanding. Why just focus on her? I think she's
a good, easy target because, granted,
She'll actually respond and say
Kotaku's actually already borderline, like, gone. Like, it's a matter of time before Kotaku dies.
Yep. Okay, Kotaku is a dying thing.
I mean, go back to, like, all the money that's been propping up about... Sorry, I'm about to see a tweet about Woman and Bears. No. That had me laughing. Then I realized the context of it. Why is that a context? Why are we having that discussion?
No, the internet has gone stupid.
The internet has gone stupid. But like, I look through it. See, here's what I love, by the way. The concept is funny. See, this is Tony being Tony. Yes, Matt, SJWs like you always lie. You brought up my dad, so I brought up yours. Lay off the weed. You're losing memory, floppy tits. So you know what Tony did? Tony decided to bring in Matt's dad, then claimed he got people killed at a collapsing a building. And he turned into egg on his face.
Yeah.
That's
pathetic. What the hell?
What? That's my phone. Sorry.
Allison, don't fucking share people's addresses or info. Full stop. Report it if you see it. Okay, that's at least... What the hell's going on here?
What do you mean? I mean, to be fair, right? I mean, I'm not even into the whole EVS thing on Mandy Summers. I mean, that's just... Someone posted a video. It's where it happens. A woman's walking into plexiglass thinking she can walk through it.
Hey, I've done that before.
Okay. And it's through a bunch of other people. And she found the door finally. So, it's rare, but it happens.
I am wondering what's going on with that tweet.
Hmm.
Are people on her side doxing people, or
It
are
wouldn't
people
surprise
on
me
her
if
side
they
getting
are.
doxed? I'll have to look into it. Sorry. Continue.
You'll have to look into it. That's looking weird. Some of these people are really, really weird, right? They're like, I'm finding out that it's kind of like if you look at people and doxing stuff, these people will, like, I think it's interesting because you're going to get into the whole, oh, by the way, you missed the whole, like, thing on Vito to own him. Vito said, yeah, I would better be. At least because I became a locale, people remember me. Well, I guess it's the sake of, I go with the sake that all controversy is not good controversy, but that is a topic for later or another day. I think it's Bill O'Reilly said it the other day. People need to stop thinking all controversy is good controversy, including bad.
Yeah.
But no, we're looking in the context of people like this. So, like, if someone says, like, Dane says, these people need to delete their channels, why does someone like Endymion need to delete his channel? Because Dane disagrees with him?
Yeah, I think it's cringe, but I'm not going to say him to delete it. I'm saying I think Ademion's channel is pretty cringe. How much he clickbaits the woke topic and other clickbait things, but I wouldn't tell him to delete it. It's just cringe to me. Okay. It's just people are getting less tolerant. Okay. That's legitimately what I think it is. Okay. They can't deal with other people having opinions. So they have to get off the internet. And it's both sides.
I think people need to learn to unplug.
Yeah. Touch grass, a lot of things.
I mean, and I'm not saying like the whole tolerant left. There are weirdos on both sides.
Yeah. Hard to figure out which one's more weird.
And you haven't watched anything on X-Men 97.
Nope. Don't want to. Okay.
It's
See,
pretty
I
good,
am
though.
old school. I just don't have time. Maybe I'll get to it. I still need to catch up on anime. Okay. I'm sure it's good.
You could do it, though.
What, you actually like X-Men 97 now?
Yes, it's actually good.
Okay.
It's
Maybe eventually
very
I'll get around to
good.
it.
Okay.
I just don't like getting invested in something.
It hasn't. We got
easily.
one more episode. I will say the abridgment of certain events is very troubling. Like, there's 2 episodes on life, death, and somehow Storm and Forge are just a happy couple. But if you know life, death, but it's like I was talking about it earlier. They're using some of the early 2000s storyline. Like the last episode they just did. Because they're on, like, there's no girl bosses in the series. It's taking the series, mixing it like with the comics. Like they brought in Bastion. They're doing some weird takes. Like they abridge life death, which was a very big storm arc in the 80s when she lost her powers. They're changing around some events and they're using it for the show. Now, the thing about it is, it's not cringe. Now, I say that till we get to season 2. Now, I have problems with, like, see, they just did the episode, the they're combining Operation Zero Tolerance and Fatal Attractions now, because Magneto like did the thing in Fatal Attractions where he shut EMP pulses the Earth. And literally at the end of this last episode, he does the ripping out of the adamantium from Wolverine's body from Fatal Attraction.
Okay.
They are using the actual comics. Now, I do need to own that issue one day. That's on my to-get list one day. If I ever find a decent price. The adamantium being ripped out of right after he gets stabbed. Now, the big deal about it is, like, right after that, he's supposed to get lobotomized. So, by Xavier, and that leads into Onslaught later on. And I don't think the show could address Onslaught, but addressing Onslaught is a very big issue. They're doing Bastion. They'll probably sum up both Magneto and Bastion in the next episode. Because it's not like Magneto can't flip the Earth's electromagnetic field.
Oh, God. Yeah,
he can. He's threatened to do it.
Okay. I believe you.
Yeah. Bear in mind, Magneto's power scaling is really stupid. But he has to be like on a ley line of the Earth kind of thing. Which is like what he did. He like did it to stop the Prime Sentinels. Which I have issues with some of the telling, but it's rather funny. That's why I say with people who are tolerant left, right? I guess it's the measure, right? Because even conservatives are starting to use the cancel tactics of the other side. That's why, like, see, Arch and them are saying that's why they're losing more. What do you think? Or is it they're petering out?
What? Who's losing more? I'm trying to follow.
Conservatives are using the tactics of the enemy. The woke people are having their tactics stolen and used against them.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it seems like. They're trying to cancel people. That definitely seems to be the tactic that's being used by the new Gamergate. Not very ethical. So I don't know why you're saying it's a continuation of. It's a radical shift. These people under Grums, they literally...
Isn't it just a tactic of another?
A tactic of another? What do you mean?
Well, see, I've always said it. You use the tactics of the enemy to get at them. I'm not against it, but you can't let those tactics become you.
Yeah. There's another quote I like to use. I think it's a Nietzsche quote. If you stare into abyss long enough, blah, 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 you'll get sucked into it. Basically, those who fight monsters, be wary you don't become a monster yourself.
Or you live long enough to see yourself become the monster.
Yep, that's the same thing, that sort of quote that was made famous by Batman. I think something precedes. There's a quote that precedes that, but yeah. And also, there's an element of audience capture. I already said the quote from Huxley. Okay. This is how people got people on their side. This is similar to how Keffels, creating victims within the movement, basically uplifting them, and just sheesh.
I mean, you can't say. I mean, Alyssa herself, right? She's still doing it. I mean, I'm guessing she's trying to find a career still. I mean, she could just, if she sat down and shut up for like a little while, it would be fine. You know what I mean? But people like, God damn it. You don't know about Cerebus XT. I wish someone would just put this man in his place now. Cerebus XT is the one who put the Pride Marines into. Well, he painted some Pride Marines, and they got featured in a White Dwarf, and it's all colors of the rainbow. And then Warhammer people are like, "We're happy about this." It's like, Warhammer's like, "Stick it to you, chuds," and I'm just like, this dude literally brings up Blackagorn again. WotC is stupid. Lord of the Rings set, they made Aragorn black.
No, for the magic, yeah.
And
That's
again, this is where when people screw with me on Magic, I actually know about this set. The reason this set sold so big was because you had the 101 ring that sold for like $2 million plus.
What? There's a magic card that sold for that much? Was there only one copy?
Yes, only one.
Okay, wow.
So the hunt for it was about to the day. I don't think all serialized rings have been found.
Well, there is the one ring, but there's the other ring. What was it? 7 to min? I forget the number. Did they literally do that? They printed one ring,
yeah,
and then got all the other rings.
I had to find it because eventually I forget what it was. Right, was the what was it? The they literally did like the 101 ring. They did the serialized, right? So it's like, you didn't know about this. I knew of it. Like, here, this is something that I knew about, and this is what sold the set itself. This is actually what sold it. A lot of the sports card collectors, see, it's this. These have yet to all be found.
Okay.
So they did the Lord of the Rings theme, right?
That's a good question. It'd be sort of unfair to if they have different languages, the one ring.
So these are the
at
soul rings, right? So this is the soul ring, right? So these are the soul rings. And now the funny thing is, we all bet the one ring was going to be found. So you're talking about 3,000, then 300 of the serial. These are the serialized. And then there's only the 101 ring. Which...
What language is it in? That could be a virtue signal.
No,
it's in Arabic. Okay, that would be an insult.
It was done in Elven.
Okay,
it's only been done. I'd have to actually see it. It actually got proven real.
Okay.
This, and it was actually found, and the thing is, it was graded in 9. I'd be more. I would actually be more pissed that it was graded in 9, and it sold for 2.6.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's the only one. See, it actually, I don't know if you know about the grading. The grading, right? It was found at a shop in Canada pre-opening, and it was basically found. Like, it got found, and I guarantee you, like, it got, like, apparently the only reason we know of what it looks like is because when they had it graded, you actually see the what it looks like. It was, and the thing is, there's no other comparisons to it in the entire world. And people were more concerned with the print quality. See, you've never seen it. Show it to. This is the interesting part. This was the whole chase. To find. So find the image. All right. This actually here. This is the actual card.
Nice.
So
Like it'll ever be used in a game.
It will never be used. It's pure. It's Now this is actually effectively the most rarest card in the world now. It's rarer than well, I don't know what makes this one rarer or the Shungafa dragon. It was given to supposedly, but there's like 6 or 7 copies of it. But it was given to an opening of a Japanese convention center. I'd have to find it. It's an actual card, and it's behind. It is behind. You can tell the era of Magic it came from.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with it. The meta
this
just
is
has
old.
gone insane.
This is really old. This was given out to supposedly at one point there was about, they say about maybe 5 of them. The last remaining copy is actually there's only one 96 world champion card, and I would love to know where that is. Now they say there's only one other that's like a one of, but they've confirmed there was about 3 or 4 printed. And the last one of this one is sitting in a case in the convention center in Japan that has transferred ownership a couple of times, and it's there.
And this is another one of those cards that are. There's only one of this card?
We only know there's only one of.
Okay, how much is the mana cost for the One Ring? Go back, I'm curious.
4.
Okay. 4 colorless.
No.
No, it looks like 0. Maybe I'm not reading it right.
The One Ring is like a 4, but it's a very broken card. It calls for
there it is.
There's a call for it to be banned in formats because reasons. There's calls for this card to be banned because here's the thing. Lord of the Rings has 2. It's really a mass set that a lot of stuff, like there's like 9 different Nazguls in it. This basically gives you, I hate it, War on Ad Blocker. Yeah, there's only 2 cards. So the One Ring is a controversial card because indestructible. If it's entered play, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each bird encounter on it. Tap, put a bird encounter on the One Ring. Now, it sounds fair. I want you to imagine in Commander or something, sacrifice this and just replay it. You don't die.
Yeah, there are cards like that.
Then in Commander, it can be an infinite protection. Just say, yeah. It's definitely up there. I would like to know the status of the one card. I don't know if anybody knows where it is. It's actually the 96 World Champion card that no one knows what it looks. I'm actually just telling you, no one knows where this is to this day. There's only one of these. Done by Chris Rush too. So someone sold it or found it, but it's not real. No one knows the status of it. And it was given out. No, World Team in New York. Well, yeah, no. I mean, it's interesting when you look at a lot of rarities, right? Magic has its own. Right now, Warhammer's getting totally destroyed. Like it has a. You're talking. Like I'm not saying destroyed. Okay, the CFO. See, while I have you, I don't have you that much, or to get to catch you much. So, what do you think when a CFO leaves and sells 2/3 of her stock?
I don't know about
On the
that.
way out.
I looked into it. She already announced her retirement. I would have to look into the thing about selling stock. A lot of people are trying to claim she did it at quarter's end to minimize the impact for her retirement. Seems like plausible, but I have no fucking clue about that. It
But
definitely
she
is a good
also
narrative.
left. She also was announcing she was leaving before the female custodies thing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she heard about the internal stuff. I mean, I'm sure this just didn't happen overnight. Maybe this is why she retired.
I think she knew about it. I mean, you heard about the head of Wizards of the Coast resigned. Cynthia Williams. Before the Q1 earnings. Her resignation was going to go through on the April 26th.
You know, in reality, this makes me want to actually find out how far right Vox Day is. Sorry, he got brought up earlier. I got curious. I wonder.
Isn't he?
I don't trust I don't trust what Wikipedia has to say. I'm pretty sure he's
Do you think
pretty
he is?
right. Well, I think he's farther right than someone like
I mean, he's probably QAnon.
Probably. But is he doing it for the meme or for real? That's the real question. I'm sure some people are QAnon just for the meme. I don't know. I'm sure some people claim to be QAnon for the meme.
See, I was
everyone attacking the Area 51. People did that as a meme. Evading Area 51. There's a lot of crap. As I said, the internet's going insane. You don't know what's real and what's not half the time. Okay.
So I'm curious. See, when you talk about a CEO leaving, gotta look into it. This is their official report. First quarter Hasbro revenue declined 24%, primarily by E1 Films and Television departure. See what you make out of this. This is why, but this wouldn't cause her to leave, would it? You see it? Operating cost includes that associate. These are a lot of numbers if you don't know it. Cost to the country, the margin is 15.3.
Well, I don't think this factored into her leaving at all.
Hasbro's own inventory.
No, I think she talked about leaving like different. 2 years ago.
This is finally, Cynthia Williams, maybe.
No, 1 year ago.
No, this is Cynthia Williams.
This is someone different. Yeah,
who's ahead of Wizards, technically. Reported earnings stock or
so
shares. I guess you're saying a decrease in revenue is 21%, operating margins -11%. Digital.
The thing I'm more interested in is, do you know about Blizzard dissolving like studios? No, not Blizzard.
Microsoft dissolving. Redfall. Yeah, I'm surprised.
Arcane, Tango, and like 3 different studios, and everyone was freaking out about it because of Hi-Fi Rush was such a success.
Tango is weird. Tango was good, but someone said it didn't sell.
I don't know. Yeah, and some people are saying, "Oh, it's probably Game Pass, which really tanked the sales." I don't fucking know. I don't claim
Well,
to
the
know things.
idea Hi-Fi Rush was still played.
I tried to play it on Game Pass, believe it or not. I thought it was interesting, but it's really not a game for me. It's
Okay,
definitely a
this is
very
what I gotta
unique game.
say. When you look into actually what Warhammer GW said about Warhammer, they actually mentioned they have DEI initiatives in their quarter report. But in terms of this, right? Because I'm very curious. So revenue licensing includes licensing games behind Baldur's Gate and Monopoly Go. Tabletop revenue increased 5%, shipping in the time of Outlaws of Thunder Junction and strong demand for Fallout Commander. They neglected the biggest drop off in the last going into it is Karlov Manor. Karlov Manor. Karlov Manor was one of the worst sets, and then the set prior to it was one of the worst. Entertainment sector decline of 80, because they've written off a ton. This is the call, right? I guess. But right now, I'm going to be honest. WotC is propping up Hasbro big time. Now, no one ever doubted.
Yahtzee?
What? This is WotC.
I thought you said Yahtzee. Maybe I misheard. Okay, I'm gonna have to bow out now.
I am going
need
to
a
as
couple
well.
of hours. If you want to come on my stream later, let me know.
What is your? You'll have to if you need me to look at it. Just send me it. And I do enjoy it. I mean, if you do message Gray, I think. See, I want to finish the review of X-Men '97, but I'm telling you, give it a shot. It's not as bad as you think it is.
I don't know what to think about it. Okay, I just don't want to spoil my childhood. Okay, I can not have an opinion on something. I have the right to not have.
Let me tell you this: all they're doing is taking the series where it left off, putting the early comic lines from the 2000s in, like they brought in Bastion. They did, even though Operation Wide Awake was in the original series, that's the creation of the Sentinels everyone knows in the show. Bastion is weird. Like, they're probably not going to do Bastion justice, but like they lean, like it's weird that they lean on like Fatal Attractions. They brought in the Executioner into the show, and he is a very big villain from the early that wasn't part of the main show. And some of the pacing, like the only thing, as I say, they actually screw up the show is like when you're trying to explain the life death story, which was a very big development for Storm.
Okay, so it sounds like they didn't totally screw the pooch. It might be a little bit curious, but I got a lot of other stuff I would rather catch up on.
Yes, you check out your stream.
Yeah. Just to let you know, it's BMO Art recommended me to cover this video. He's like, it's right up your alley. I watched it. I'm like, yeah, I guess I should cover this. It's interesting. But peace out. I need to do some things and probably relax a little bit before I do my stream in like 3.5 hours.
Yes.
Peace out. Bye.
Okay, people, that's good. If you see it earlier, I will cover, I guess, this. Go back, give your thoughts. Those are just my thoughts. I guess I do not see. I don't think this is a gotcha on him if you go back to see what I say about the tolerant left people. It does take some diverging. But the thing about it is, it's sometimes hard to tell with these people. You have the Anita Sarkeesians of the world, which basically came at a game with malicious intent. You have Alyssa Mercante, who has it as well. I mean, Canavan could not be a bad person. He could be that activist in his mind, right? I see it as it's interesting. He should have known when he tweeted out how it was going to be interpreted. I don't think that these people. The question is, do they know? I guess it's weird. Sorry. Little exhausted today. I'll say. Okay. But I think a lot of it is, it's usually the intention behind a statement. But it looks weird. See, now you got the problem right now of, I'm sure that, Grimoire is getting hate brigaded because of their stuff. I guess. I don't know. Do they have a game coming out? Who knows? You got Hypnotic here. You have others. I'm going to be honest. He may, in the end, it's hard to tell what his intention is. And I don't say that because it's sometimes hard to tell with these people, though, in all seriousness. But I think some do have that. I think wingnuts do exist in both sides. Right autists are as bad as left autists. And that is basically what it is. Like, 4chan people, maybe not as much. But Kiwi Farms people don't mind doxing people or threatening people. These people do exist. But usually, I guess the narrative, like I play it up a little bit, but it's hard to tell without further evidence. If he does say he wants representation in his art and does that, but he doesn't do it in his portfolio, he may not be a real activist. Now, his Twitter is protected, which, as I said earlier, could be a gold mine. But he got caught and he basically privated his tweets about the same day. Which I actually got wrong. I thought he did it the other day. I guess everyone was still reposting replies. Now, in reality, you could still read some of them. But it's definitely unique, right? This situation, right? When I mean the tolerant left, it's kind of the jokes you don't find. It's the mask off. Because I don't think Alyssa should have contacted. What is it even worse? Is people hated the Clintons. He never blamed Chelsea for the crimes of her parents. You don't blame the children for the sins of the parents. That's just something you don't do. Now, it's a weird tactic of canceling people, but it's a double-edged sword, and I'll have to look into this. But it's definitely where it reeks. Now, he may not be conscious of what he says. That is a big deal. There's a lot of people who aren't conscious online of what they say. But a person like me, Vincent, somebody who's online more, we know if we say something stupid, it lives on in infamy. We know it's quote tweeted. We know it's used to beat us over the head. Now, the problem with current Twitter as it stands is you do have tolerant left. Like in Wokehammer's side, where I've seen this guy before, he actively is a very activist in his tweets. these people, if you could say, but it's hard to conclude. If he had the self-awareness what he was doing was wrong, and he tries to spin it, sure. But I'll say with a final verdict, he shows signs, but it's really hard to say if he actually is true. But it's very weird if a Scotsman doesn't know the meaning of going after a family member or hanging him from trees. So if YouTube sees this, it's in reference to this. The story itself is weird. Now, doubling down, protecting yourself, maybe it blows over. Now, Watsy's official statement is, sure, misleading information, whatever else. But, intention 6-1, half a dozen the other. I'll leave it up to people to view it. It is a very controversial thing to say. He should have thought about it. It feels like it's mask off, but he may not be the responsible party. Now, in reality, if his intention was the phrase to use it for people to be held accountable, fine. But lately, people have not been used to that because there are activists on the left side that are not super tolerant. They do go after people. They do dox people. Like Tony does it. But Tony claims he's right-wing, but I say he's left-wing. I doubt a progressive. I doubt a Chicago has a Trump voter. If you do, someone did me wrong. That's nice, but plus his positions, he has issues straddling the conservative line. You know what I mean? And his own principles. He quotes God one minute and puts it down the next. But I think Canavan, right? A lot of his artwork, a lot of his stuff, maybe what he says in private or does stuff, he might be an activist and he might bring it into his work, but it doesn't show in his portfolio. Now, did he say something stupid? Yes. But when I mean the tolerant left, sometimes people do slip. I've seen Dane slip. I've seen Morgan slip. But then they immediately walk it back like something bad doesn't happen to them. I don't say that to anybody, not even my own worst enemies. So, it's my stance on it. I'll have to look into this if it becomes bigger. It might just go away after a couple of days. He may have just gotten himself involved in a thread that he didn't understand he did. Now, hypothetically, he knew what he was saying. You should have known it was going to get taken out of context. That is the problem. You cannot say stupid stuff like this in the modern era. I play all video games with VoIP or in chat like I could be taken out of context. I don't hide it. I come. So you got to think of it, right? If younger people see this, you need to think about this. From the source, it is a questionable source. I have seen leftoids become weaponized. I know what channels like them. That's what they do. They double down. I mean, Dane's pretty much doubling down on Chuds lose all the time. Or saying people. He's going further down that rabbit hole. There's not a question or if and buts about it. He is going down the deeper rabbit hole. You double down. Purify the audience. Now, I see that in left Twitter. They just haven't made it public. I mean, you see it. But if you look up their tweet history sometimes, you'll find these people that are so-called, I call it tolerant and left, but they'll go responses like pro-Israel, like they'll be anti-Palestine, they'll be pro-fascist. It's just like, oh, but burn conservatives in the street. What? These two things don't matter. It's a weird thing, and I'd have to look at it on the idea of the tolerant left, because it's really hard to tell in this case if it's pure mask off. Now, without the full Twitter chain, you can't tell what he fully meant. But I will say this. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't realize what he was saying. But he should have noticed that. And the question of whether or not he did delete it, we can never know. Maybe he deleted it when the Twitter went private. We don't know. But it's something that should not have been said. I heard about the JT Smash stuff or whatever. I heard about that because I just scroll through Twitter and I'll see it. But it makes zero sense to know. Like, people need to be wiser what you do in social media. You got to remember that. It should be a lesson. It's not because it comes from Josh Trent. I mean, conservatives have to be smart in what they say as well. There's something to be said. I have to close it out in like this idea. A lie travels around. If you tell a lie will pass around the world 3 times before you get the truth. Something like that. Falsehoods and a false narrative fly around the world multiple times before the truth comes out. Okay? That is a philosophy I live by. You have to know it. This is why I waited about a day or two to look into it. And it still reeks to me. I mean, a lot of his Reddit history is cleaned up. His comments, either they're cleaned up or they're very much protected. But it's hard to tell with a person like him. How activist is he? But if he is trying to, now maybe he is smart enough to know. He did work at Bungie until about 2018 and through Forsaken. 2018, about 2019. He actually worked. He worked down there. And I think you do need a certain mindset to stay there. Now, how much of it bleeds into your work, I don't know. But I think hindsight, he realized he screwed up. But just remember, whatever you say on social media follows you. Younger people will find this out versus older people. I mean, hell, they still cancel people for 10-year-old tweets. Society wasn't the same 10 years ago, let alone 3. So, I'll have to see next, you know. Hey, well, I'm probably going to go out. It's been a long day. And maybe have to readdress my internet situation. Or just live with it. Lest they send a bad tech out to my house again. That's a tale for something I'll have to. But I think my plans for whatever. I do need to get through the Abraxo event. But I don't know if I'll play that on stream or so. Division time trials I will do some point this week. But I do need to go out a little bit. I might be on Vincent's later. So, yeah, but just remember, though, in closing, for real, remember what you say online. You must also think about, you say this in person, communication is a two-way street as well. People have a bias. Some people have biases. Other people have a way they view things. A person with a jaded outlook can always misinterpret something you say. Now, you can spin a clip of a person 5 different ways in YouTube. This is why you try to avoid words, you avoid phrasing, because it's usually a gotcha tactic. This is what could have happened to him. He said something stupid, doubled down. But did he delete the tweet? Sure. But it's going to live on in the annals of the internet no matter what. Right? You have to understand, this follows you. Now that you have a job, if let's say if a younger person gets a job, they check your social media. I don't want, there are people with social medias that I've known of a couple of people years ago that were fired because of it, because they saw something she said on a Facebook about her employer and she was fired. Friend's wife. It's a real thing. But I will catch people later. I guess keep forward to some game streams and check out Vincent's stream later. Should be interesting. I have the energy for it. Oof. That's just numbers against him. I don't know. I'm waking up early nowadays. Oof. I should be in bed by now. I'm only get about usually 16, 20 hours. But I'd catch people later. And just keep your notification. Your thoughts down below to be able to see people later.